Hi folks, this is Jack Spirico here with a promise review of a product called the Vacucanner, available at vacucanner.com, vacucanner.com. Don't worry about that, link in the video notes. There's fine folks out there were happy to send me their product. And what this does is allows you to do dry canning with a vacuum seal. I've already done a few jars here. These were some peppers that we had already put in some jars, some stuff we found. The place looks a mess. It is. We're still unpacking. There's moving and there's moving as a prepper. We just moved to our new homestead. I'm using actually, I would probably do all of these with quart versus pint jars today, but that's what we found so far in all of our unpacking of our empty mason jars. So I'm using the smaller jars, except for I did find 1 quart jar that I'm going to use. But these we found, and they just were, you know, just stuff that we dehydrated. These are jalapenos. These are sweet peppers. Another one of jalapenos. And I thought while I had it out, I'd test it before I got on the camera. So I threw these in here and had no problem. And it really is going to be a great product for some people. I want to talk about what the product is, who the product's for, and I want to get rid of these jars. Give myself as much counter space as I can. We really have a lot of work to do with this kitchen to get it up to par. But basically this is a modified pressure cooker, rubber gasket seal, and then it's simply a switch valve that turns it on and off that allows either to create a vacuum or to release the vacuum, and a vacuum gauge, a hose, and an amazing vacuum pump. You guys are worried about surviving the zombies. If you run out of food, at least you can beat them to death with this thing. This is an industrial quality, very, very powerful vacuum pump, and it does a great job. It comes with a little bit of oil. Keep your pump full of oil, because when you see how this thing runs, you'll understand this is not your food saver. Now the cost, this system right here, $389. I think they knocked the price down for about a week after this review, kind of as a special for this review. MSB members, I'm working to get you a discount. They're a small company in Alma, Arkansas. This is all they do. They don't have a real sophisticated web presence, so doing a discount code or something like it's kind of complicated. Maybe we get them to do phone-in orders for you, something permanently, but there is a discount right now, I think of 5 or 10% on all their products. They make a bigger one that does half-gallon jars. I don't know that that really would be for me. I actually really see the value of this product, of taking large amounts of product down to small amounts of product, okay? So that's really the whole point here. So who is this for? This is for a serious prepper. Again, this system, $389. If you're thinking, I can modify a pressure cooker to do this myself, they'll sell you the pump for $90. So you can buy just the pump and build your own if that's what you want to do. Or you can buy the whole system. The serious prepper, though, that does a lot with dry goods. Let me, for instance, I love Harmony House. And I buy from Harmony House in these great big 1-gallon containers. This is potatoes. There's a gallon jug of tomatoes. We found these in the move so far, so I decided to do some of these. But I don't know about you. I'm paleo. So people think this is on paleo. I don't eat rice, I don't eat potatoes, I don't eat bread. I do, I just eat it in very, very small amounts. I'm not 100% paleo. Grains and starches probably make up 10% or less of my total diet. So I do use it, but you know, it takes me a long time to work through a gallon of potatoes, dehydrated potato dices. So this is okay for stores, but really, as long as it takes me to get through here, it's much better to have it in something like this. So what I've normally done, drop them here and use O2 absorbers. Issue, I gotta buy O2 absorbers all the time. And whatever's left over, I gotta vacuum seal the O2 absorbers to keep them from, you see how that is. So this eliminates the need for O2 absorbers. Some of you are so anal, I know you're gonna do this and you're gonna put an O2 absorber here. It won't hurt anything, but the nice thing you'll have is when you open your can later on, the O2 absorber will still be completely unused because there's gonna be no oxygen left in there. But number 10 cans, for instance, you buy meat dices and dehydrated vegetables, you make your own meals in a jar. People like that, people that want to buy in bulk, large quantities, dry goods, or produce your own dry goods with your own dehydrating, like I do with my peppers and many other things that I dehydrate, rice, beans, lentils, anything like that, where you want to eat what you store and store what you eat. You want to buy in bulk, break it down to small sizes. If you want to store 1,000 pounds of rice, 5-gallon buckets, Mylar bags, O2 absorbers are probably the best way to do that. But if you want to store 100 pounds of rice in small containers and you use it regularly and you want to do a lot of different variety really, really quick, this is the way. So let's talk about how you do it. All you do is you add your product, whatever it is, and this has to be something that can be dry stored. Obviously, you can't do this with browned hamburger meat. You tighten your lid, you back it off a quarter turn. And that's the whole process. Make sure the jars are clean, tops are wiped off so there's no debris to get in the way, and put them in. You can do quarts, you can do pints, and again, they make a larger one, you can do half dollars. Let me tell you what I got here. I got some brown rice. People think brown rice won't store. You put it in the vacuum, it'll store. The expiration date on this, I just bought it in February, is February of next year, and the bag says it was aged for 1.5 years. This is an organic Indian brown rice. So you'll get 2 years out of brown rice. Don't tell me you won't. I've done it all my life, and I've never had a system this good to do it with. Got some crackers here. Again, we're paleo. That means when we buy a box or two of crackers, they last for months, right? So they can go stale. If you've ever tried to vacuum something like a cracker in a bag, crushed. Okay, crackers, in they go. Lentils. I have found a bag of lentils that I've been using for my cooking. I figured I'd throw them in here. They're not filled to the top. You know what? It ain't gonna matter. It's probably better if they're filled to the top, but we're still gonna get a vacuum seal. We're gonna suck all of the air out of that jar. Another jar of rice and a jar of tomato dices. Just what I happen to have around. We're going to be using this a lot with our number 10 cans, breaking them down into meals and jars. We're going to be using this in workshops at the new homestead when we have you guys out. I am absolutely sold on this product. Here's why. So, could not be easier. Put the lid on it. That's something maybe I'll get a little bit better at. There we go. And I'm going to turn it around so you can see the vacuum gauge. The hose out of the way. Switch on the pump. And what we're looking for, I'm going to turn it off a second. You'll notice what we're looking for is to get up to 29 Hg of pressure. I'm probably going to edit out some of the time so you don't have to sit here and listen to the pump run. It takes about 1.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and do it. It would help if I closed the valve. You got to close this valve. I have this valve open, so second time I've used it, allow me the mistake. You see the pressure starting to climb. I'm not going to edit that out. Hey, we all messed something up. I forgot to throw a lever. The nice thing is, you really can't mess this up. If you do it at all, you're going to do it right. You would know if you messed that up that your food's not sealed. So let's get it up to 29 Hg. I'll edit out this little place where we're waiting and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. That took about 1 minute. Gave me time to grab an Abbey Ale. Got to get the homebrew stuff set up, guys. I'm tired of drinking this store-bought beer, but I depleted most of the homebrew. So if anybody wants to send me some homebrew, email me and I'll give you an address you can ship it to. Anyway, so we've now got the air pumped out. It took a little bit, around 1 minute, for it to completely displace all the air out. We've got a complete vacuum in here now. And it probably took half of that minute to get from 25 to 29. That tells you the power of a pump like this to be able to pull that last little bit out. We've got a complete vacuum now. Now, how do you seal your jars? That's it. It's done. It's finished. By decompressing it really, really fast, those jar lids are just cinched down on there now. So let's take a look at the results. So we bring them out. And we just go ahead and, I don't even think you really need collars once these are sealed. This stuff's not going anywhere, but this way the collars stay with the jar and they don't get lost. And that's it. I want you to think about the variety and the speed at which we did this. Really, really fast. And I want to give you an idea. Some noodle searing. Noodles are another thing that, you know, if you've ever tried, really. So look, you saw the lid fall off the noodles, and I thought about editing that out because I didn't think it was fair to the product because I'd already known what had happened. But I think it's good that you guys see that and we talk about what happened. So just to be sure, what I did, I put the same collar and cap. I think I tossed it over here. Put the same collar and can cap on the noodles, and I put them in there and I reprocessed them, and it fell off again. And as you can see, all of these other ones, and I'm holding it by the cap there, and I'm pretty confident that ain't coming off. You'll see why here in a second. It was a bad can or a bad cap. So something is deficient in that seal. Now it's never been used before, but every canner knows every once in a while you get a bad lid. This happens to be a bad lid, so we're going to discard it and not use it again. So I reprocessed it with a fresh lid, and there you go. It's nice and tight. Now here, I want you, and I'm going to come right up to the camera so you can hear this, and I'm going to open this, and I want you to hear the level of the seal that's on here, and maybe me grunt as I do it. Okay, I think that makes my point. I've opened up a lot of these cans over the years that have been canned in a pressure canner, been canned in a water bath canner, and been done with O2 absorbers. I have never had to pull that hard to get a lid off. Ladies, you're probably going to want to use something to pull the lids off. Some of you guys with thinner wrists, you might want to too. It's actually pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and pop another one. And the nice thing, since these haven't been heated, these can be reused. I haven't tried this. God. Well, I think I'd want to hold it down and use a knife and pull up in the future. I got a little bit of rice going everywhere. But that gives you an idea of the level of seal that you're creating. Because I know some of you are thinking about, well, I can do this with my adapter and my food saver. You can. It ain't going to do this. It's not going to give you that level of a seal. I want to do something though. I'm saying you can reuse them. Let's test that theory. I'll pause the camera for a second. I'm going to go ahead and reprocess these two that I've opened now and see how it works out. I pretty much already know the results, but we're going to do it. Okay, so that one's one that we opened, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I'm back. We've tried to reuse those lids, see how it works out. We're sitting right at 29 HG. If this fails, it fails. This is my theory. The manufacturer's made no claim about this. I just can't see why it won't work. This is not a heat seal on these lids. Assuming they were good lids, you should be able to reuse them. The nice thing is, this product's inherently safe. We're going in, not out with pressure. None's going to blow up, and new pressure canners don't blow up anyway. But two, if it fails, you'll know it failed. I mean, it's that simple. You'll absolutely know it's either good or it's not good. And one made it and one didn't. Okay, so the rice has resealed. And I'm not going to do it again, guys. I'm just going to give it enough to, yeah, it's dead solid. The noodle one did not work, which has me suspecting something's up with this jar. This jar has you know what, I can actually see this jar, even though this is a brand new jar, is imperfect. I can actually see beveling in the lid that this piece of the lip of the jar is a little lower than this. So the fact that it worked at all even once is kind of impressive. So we need to get rid of this jar. And I've had bad lids. I have never had a bad jar. Anybody who's ever had a bad jar, let me know. But you can see, this is a great product. It's going to do a lot for you, and it's going to do a lot fast, and a lot of variety. Everything gets processed the same way. Go to 29 HG, let the pressure off. That's it. And because of that, that means rice, potatoes, lentils, crackers, tomatoes. And even though we had a problem jar noodles, we can do them all at the same time, and any other type of dry good. Check them out today. Again, vacucanner.com, link in the video notes. And let me know what you think. And again, those of you guys that say you can do this with your food saver, you're not going to do it at the speed or the level of quality that this device is going to do. And I've even shown you failures, but trust me guys, this is a failure in the manufacturing process of a mason jar, not this product.